Now going over to the political part podcast, you have JD Vance putting Zelensky in his place when he visited the White House last week, which, yeah, how much are we giving that SOB? $180 billion while we have homeless veterans in the streets, while we have people living paycheck to paycheck. Most Americans don't have an emergency fund, yet alone can handle an expense of up to like $500. Like, it's scary how rough it is for a lot of Americans. We have streets crumbling, crime increasing, 100,000 Americans killed every year because of fentanyl overdoses, because they'll protect our damn border. And yet, we've given Zelensky $180 billion. I don't know why this annoys me, but he also dresses like a slob. He still wears, like, what is it, gym clothes? He can't suit up. I always say, like, every man, yeah, that's a universal truth. Every man always looks best suited up. For most important occasions in your life, you put on a suit. And he goes to visit the White House. I would argue the most important building on this planet. Although, if Trump were hanging out with me today, he'd probably say something to the effect of, the most important building on the planet, I made it better, restyled it, put a picture of myself, obviously the mugshot from the Democrats tried to go after me, and the deep state tried to frame me. The White House is the best, the greatest, and eventually I will put my name on the wall in gold, eventually, probably, which, well, Donald Trump, probably. I mean, yeah, the most important building on the planet. And Zelensky shows up to beg more money and to blame other people for his problems. Again, people are struggling just to get by in the United States. And we've given it blows my mind, $180 billion. And yes, I know that's a combination of fiscal, just cash, as well as, military armaments and, humanitarian knickknacks like, physical food and stuff. But yeah, we have, unless we had zero unemployment and everyone's happy and healthy, and yeah, we shouldn't be doing that. But thankfully, JD Vance slaps him down. So you can see, Donald Trump dressed, do they call it dressed to the T's? Obviously, him and JD Vance are suited up as all men should and looking sharp. And Zelensky's wearing a rudimentary, a black sweater? It's not even a tactical turtleneck. It's just a black sweater. How lame is that? And then regular pants?
I'm talking...
Ridiculous. Again, this is not a fashion show, so I will digress.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to...
Look at his body language, like a little, how do you say this? Little bitch? Like a spoiled child crossing his arms like, we gave you $180 billion. What have we gotten from it again? Yeah, Trump's going to make some deals. We should at least get some mineral rights or something from that situation.
Try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to...
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
That.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell.
Yeah, there's a reason why people don't attack the United States. People joke and sometimes critique our military budget allocation, but not only does the U.S. tactically have a pretty good place in the world, but we have bar none the best defense contractors on the planet. In addition to the best military, like the largest defense contractors on the planet, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. I mean, the big boys, Raytheon, which combined with another missile company. They're all headquartered here, baby. There's a reason for that. People critique them. You can talk about the budget overages and overcharges. But the best military hardware and people, they're here. And as wise Japanese general said in World War II, you won't go attack Americans because there would be a rifle behind every blade of grass, unquote.
Tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this.
I'm not
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself to
very,
be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war,
to be right about
from
it.
the very beginning of the war,
You're not
Mr.
in a
Brown,
good position.
I
You don't
was
have
in
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards. But
cards.
right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah,
Is this guy too dumb to know what a metaphor is? Even a child would understand what a metaphor is. Well, most children. Even if they went to the United States public schools, even they, which I went to too, even they would understand that metaphor. And yeah, they have no... Without... If the U.S. were to just today say, you know what? If Trump would just say, no more funding, the spigot is off, you get no more funds, Zelensky, you're through, the war would be over tomorrow. Because again, they're propped up by us. We're the number... We've given more than any other country to that country that most people can't point to on a damn map, who's not even, as Trump would say, or he should, I'm surprised he does not make this argument, they're not even our top 10 trading partner, we're not buying stuff from them, they do some Porsche parts, I appreciate that, Porsche makes a great vehicle, but they can source it from somewhere else. Like, Ukraine doesn't do anything for the United States, tactically or fiscally. We do some trade with them, but we're not even in the top 10.
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War
What do you-
III.
what do you
You're
think
gambling
about?
with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III. And
You-
what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
I'm-
It's
with
back
all
to
respect
you.
to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
wearing
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States
what
of
are you speaking
America
about?
and the president who's trying to save your country. I'm talking.
The definition of a spoiled brat and entitlement is Zelensky. Again, hundreds of billions of dollars. Why? Again, it blows my mind how many people in the United States especially have their heart set on defending Ukraine, which they can't point you on a freaking map, probably because they went to public school, which, again, so did I, but thanks to the internet and some research, I cannot point to it on a map. I can see that. Yeah, who cares? Well, why? And I know I keep driving a couple of the same redundant points today in nauseum, but really, why are people barely making a living in the United States having to pay for Zelensky? One of the most corrupt countries on the planet. I mean, even CNN, before the whole Russia and Ukraine conflict started, they all agreed, like, oh yeah, this is one of the most corrupt countries ever. Funds go missing left and right. We're also saying the money with no accountability, no oversight. Who knows where that money is actually going? And Ukraine has ramped up the production so much, they're actually selling armaments to other countries too, making a profit too. It's ridiculous. And this did get 9.1 million views and 124,000 likes. Which, yeah, again, fairly minor. Thanks to the ineptitudes and or corruption of Democrats and Republicans, the United States is $36 trillion in debt. We don't have money to, first of all, you can debate there's any upside or any benefit to us giving all this money away to Ukraine. We also can't afford it. Like, I would be arguing of stopping a majority of, especially if there's no upside to working with them, stop all that foreign trade today. When we have strategic allies where it makes sense, where we do business with them, maybe there's a strategic part in the globe for us. Maybe that I can understand that. I can understand that argument, even if maybe every single time I don't agree with it, but I can understand that argument. No one's been able to give an articulate reason of why we should keep funding this war. Why? NATO keeps expanding and closer to Russia. Doesn't seem like doesn't seem like that's a great idea. Ukraine seems to be the last buffer. And eventually I think Russia was going to bite back, and they got more nukes than pretty much any other country. And I mean, Putin's getting pretty old. I'm hopefully he doesn't just click that button when he gets pissed and nukes everything. I mean, for decades we've had the concept of mutually assured destruction, with most major countries having capability of nuclear war, so they don't use it because they know if they do, the other countries will nuke them off the face of the earth. It's the age-old theory of mutually assured destruction that's, interestingly enough, kept a lot of world peace, or at least lesser, more intense conflicts from happening. I mean, as a wise man would say, maybe don't poke the bear. I'm a little biased. I would love to have a nice Mosin Nagant, a crate of them before I die, without having to pay 10 grand for that thing. It used to be $300 or less back in the day. Same with SKSs. Same with Russian ammo. I miss the days of getting that cheap spam can. But nevertheless, it'd be nice to actually maybe have more global trade with them. It has more upside to that. Let me know in the comments, why keep propping up Ukraine? Why keep fueling the war? Now, one of the first comments comes from Democrat Media TM saying, quote, one word, body, gained 28 likes. Liberty Pill Memes, A+, they did in fact respond in meme form, says, why does Zelensky do this? They have a cartoon of Trump saying, Zelensky, it's time for Ukrainians to stop dying. And the little cartoon of Zelensky says, no, not yet, gained 2.6 thousand likes, which community notes would probably say inaccurate because he's actually wearing something that would be a modicum of respect for the room. He's wearing what looks like to be a military uniform, when again, he's just wearing a sweater. Again, I could perhaps respect a tactical turtleneck if you're in conflict or in a war zone, but like meeting the most important people on the planet, you don't suit up for that. He has the money. We've given him $180 billion. It's not a fiscal issue. He's got the cash. He just wants to keep parading around. Yeah, Truth Discourse saying he just took out the trash, and Trump saying, I picture Trump putting Zelensky in the trash, getting 150 likes. Yep. And I would say it's an accurate picture because Zelensky's wearing a sweater in that one. Bold Anger has Trump spewing fire at Zelensky, getting 10 likes. Perhaps the most accurate picture of all, you have a picture of Zelensky. Wow, he actually wore a button up for once in his life, meeting with Biden, and it says money laundering. And it's juxtapositioned with a picture of Donald Trump and Zelensky. It says negotiating peace, getting 441 likes. Again, never forget the United States via Boris Johnson and the UK government. I mean, when the conflict first broke out, Zelensky, there was talks of, coming up with a treaty pretty quick. And yeah, the United States said, no, we're not going to let that happen. We got to let this conflict start. Have the world spend hundreds of billions of dollars. And so many people died. I got 441 likes. Yeah, Penelope Cinco, poor souls can't watch this sort of thing. They cringe, shy away from all forms of confrontation. Confrontation and hard conversations are critical for progress. Watching Zelensky get handled his ass was quite frankly the highlight of my morning. I voted for this. Getting 27 likes. No. Oh, I was about to say let's make it 28. Just shot up to 41 like Nvidia stock in 2024. Not so great in 2025. Ugh. Not financial advice. Yeah, Medicine Man saying, quote, you feel it was essentially a backhanded threat if you don't comply with his demands. Trump absolutely smelled it out and wrecked his shit for it. Beautiful. Getting 3.7 thousand likes. Yep. CF says, God, I love this administration. Zelensky is a piece of shit, getting 1.8 thousand likes. Keith Ainsworth says, I don't think he wants to mess with JD Vance, getting 233 likes, which, yep, every day I can't but think Trump is more and more affirmed in his confirmation of choosing JD Vance as his VP and right-hand man. And Crazy Vibes saying, quote, that this disrespectful outfit and attitude after we gave him hundreds of billions of dollars, this is what the world thinks of Americans thanks to the weakness and puppet Biden administration. Make this clown walk back to his hotel and shut down war funds. The war needs to end. Get 809 likes. Yes. Again, well, not for the defense contractors, but on average, less war and more global trade, usually beneficial for most folks. Again, not the missile assembler at the Raytheon factory, but most average folks. One of the best memes thus far. Unwoke Media Inc. has a picture of Zelensky on a phone. And it says, is the money coming? And then Trump's on the line and he says, go F yourself. Getting 471 likes. Yeah. Again, imagine $180 billion. It's just so much money. That number keeps, it's so much money. It's such a waste. Let's see, you got maybe a contrarian statement. You have Eli Copter, who has pictures of the Ukrainian flag as well as the Israeli flag in his name, where you can add emojis. Now he says, quote, not a good look for the U.S. to be sure. Zelensky is the Churchill of our time, and they'll still go down as a historic mistake. Getting 1.9 thousand likes, which the Churchill, no, Zelensky is a dumbass of our time. Because of him, he's lost hundreds of thousands of citizens. They're dying left and right because of his vast ineptitudes. I mean, he might be the most successful, fiscally speaking. He could be the most successful grifter of all time, going around the globe begging for more bags of money as his country becomes more and more enriched. But yeah, again, they could have had peace a long time ago. But no, Zelensky, no. I suspect the peace will come once Trump says, hey, no more funding, and maybe Trump does just a Zoom call. Not to plug Zoom, great software company, but nevertheless. I mean, once Trump does just a Zoom call, he goes, okay, Vlad, okay, Zelensky, we're getting a phone call. Putin, you're going to get the Crimea, that shitty little port, or something like that. Ukraine will give you your Porsche wire harness assembly plant back and a couple trinkets. Make the deal now because no more money for you. And again, without the major backer of Ukraine, because again, we give them more money than any other country, they would have accepted a peace treaty pretty quick. Now, you also have Sarah Snowmer says, this is not a good look. Oh, really? Okay, another contrary statement. This is not a good look for the Trump's side. If Ukraine accepts reunification with Russia, all previous work and money spent on the war will be for nothing. Getting 96 likes, which, again, I'm not sure how many proposals there are for reunification. I think they're just saying go back to the previous lines of engagement. And again, I think Putin is going to push hard to get that port to the sea because they need that for tactical and trade purposes. In terms of negotiation, I think that's going to be the one thing. Putin will give up other areas of Ukraine. I suspect that, but I'm guessing that would be like his non-negotiation thing. But again, I suspect we also spent $180 billion from nothing because, again, at the end of the day, no matter who has support, where that line moves on the map, how does this help you? How does this help me? I'm still waiting for someone to give me a real answer to that. Oh no, Russia might get a little bit bigger. Okay. And they're going to invade Iowa anytime soon? Or Texas? I'm waiting for a solid answer. Now, let's dive into the comments for her. Someone responded to, again, Sarah Snowmore saying, quote, you obviously don't know what the fuck you're talking about. That time would to be nice is over. This man has used the country to profit from war. Getting 47, second 48 likes. Almost got ratioed. PC Not PC says, quote, I was taught when you have absolutely no effing IQ or intelligent thoughts to add to a conversation, you just stay quiet. But alas, the idea was wasted upon you because opening your mouth and letting your stupid shine is an art form of you. Getting 7 likes. Anib says, the money stolen from the American taxpayers to pay for Ukraine war. Getting 9 likes. Though I made it 10. Stop Socialist Tyranny, who A+ for profile picture is in fact of a Lego figure. Pretty cool. Says, quote, Trump and JD Vance showing strength on the world stage, no more bowing down to foreign leaders. America First policy is a breath of fresh air after years of weak leadership. Time to put America's interests ahead of everyone else's. Great move by Trump and Vance, getting 3.8 thousand likes. Elijah says Zelensky forgot who he's dealing with, getting 226 likes, which, I mean, yeah, for years, Zelensky basically had a puppet to push to the ground, a weak, I'm going to say, basically someone who has 18 brain cells left was in the White House, and Zelensky basically got whatever he wanted. Again, hundreds of billions of dollars. Let's see here. Unsolicited advisor says, as much as I dislike the war and Zelensky, I don't believe Trump and JD Vance should gang up on him like that. A contrarian statement gave 1.2 thousand likes, interestingly enough. But again, when Zelensky is going around the world trash-talking the U.S., yeah, I think it's appropriate to slap him down like that. Ungrateful little child that he is. Again, you could see how by his whole body language, just arms crossed, not receptive. You can see by, again, one of the best books I read the past couple of years. It's literally called What Every Body Is Saying. It's by a former FBI negotiator. It kind of talks about the psychology of body language. It's quite fascinating. And the ADHD I know today is off the charts. That's kind of what we're talking about today with Zelensky. That's one of the books on my, moderately, I was going to say large bookshelf. It's getting there. The collection is growing. I'll do 1 or 2 statements here, or comments. Ryan says JD Vance is straight talker, no bull crap at all, getting 2.3 thousand likes. Trying to find more contrarian statements, and thankfully today we're finding some. Clementine, though F- marketing, perhaps the only time I thought it'd be appropriate to have a meme or a little emoji in your name of an orange. And the profile picture is not in fact of an orange or the state of Florida. I'm baffled. This alleged Clementine says, quote, it's the art of the deal. Trump is the master. Sign the deal at Mar-a-Lago? Question mark. Putin will be getting the treatment too. It will not be made public like this, but Trump will put Putin in his place. Relax everyone. Bottom line, minerals for the U.S. and peace for the world. Win-win, which, you know what? And it has a hippie sign, the American flag, and then the Ukrainian flag, which, yeah, I actually do agree with that. I won't like it, though, on the X. Because, again, if we need to get something out of this money pit we just put all that money into, God. So, yeah, mineral rights for 100 years or something like that, there's got to be a silver lining. And Trump, probably the first president in our freaking lifetime, actually makes deals for the American people. If you get some mineral rights, you can actually get some money out of that. Maybe someday before we die, we'll get like an ROI out of this. Maybe. Again, that's going to be a heck of a lot of minerals. 100. When you look at investments, again, not financial advice, but good rule of thumb I tell people is it should at least meet or exceed the growth of the S&P 500, because if you just put money into an index fund, that's usually what you would get. Usually, that's historically speaking, not guarantee future results. So I would say we need to get at least 15, 16, maybe 20% ROI in minerals from that country. I mean, at least get, get something out of that boondoggle. So we'll see what happens at the end of the day. I was going to say, let me know in the comments, who do you think is doing a better job handling the whole Russia-Ukraine situation? Trump, or was it Biden? Which, again, if you have contrarian arguments, I'm especially interested, and I apologize if it takes me a day or two to get to the comments. Sometimes work gets a little bit busy, but I always strive to respond to all of them, even if I don't necessarily agree with them. Appreciate any critique, especially if it's constructive. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.